Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing great. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make some morning slippers, and I also made an eye mask, but I'm not going to show you how to make that. Teboho from Ruralafrican Shop is the one who's going to show you how to make an eye mask on her channel. So this is a collaboration between me and Miss Teboho from Ruralafrican Shop. She also runs an online store. That is the website there, and that is her YouTube channel. And if you want to follow her on social media, her Facebook is at Ruralafrican Shop and Instagram at Botswana Queen. So quickly, I'm just going to show you guys how to make the slippers. Don't forget to go over to her channel and see how to make the eye mask. So first I started with my fabric. This is the fabric that I used, and these are my slippers that I already own. I wanted to make a size 4, so instead I was not going to add any seam allowance because I'm making them for a friend. And then I would just go ahead and trace the shape of the slipper onto the fabric and draw it out with a chalk, and then I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting out, this is the shape that I have, and then I now took this Faux leather. It's also called rexine. This is what I was going to put at the bottom or the soles of the slippers, and it's also waterproof. Then I just went ahead and I did the same thing that I did, just drawing out the shape with a piece of chalk and then cutting it out. So now I have my rexine and my fabric. Then I also need some interfacing and also some baiting or padding, which I cut out using the same technique. So now I started to iron my interfacing onto my fabric, and I did this for both pieces, the right and the left foot. And then I also ironed some interfacing onto the rexine, the bottom of the soles. So when I assemble, I put a piece of the rexine, then I put the fabric with the interfacing on top, and then I put the baiting in the middle. Then I just pinned those layers together. Now for the top part, I took this little square piece of fabric, and then I folded it in half. Then I went to the corner and I drew with my curved ruler to get that semicircle shape. So I put a layer of fabric outside and another piece of fabric outside, and in between I have the baiting, which I then pinned together. Then after that, I took my ruler and I started to just draw the straight lines. You can do any shape or direction of lines you want. You can make them diagonal. That's all depends on you. And then I went on to the sewing machine and I started to stitch on top of these lines, just basically joining all those layers of the fabric and baiting, and also getting a texture of like a kilt, sort of like a quilting technique. So after that, I now took a piece of bias binding. I cut my own bias. This is a piece of polycotton fabric that I used to cut my own bias, and then I would fold both edges inside and also fold enough to sort of make my own binding. Then I would take the binding onto the straight edge of the little semicircle fabric, and then I stitched it down. And I did a zigzag stitch for this. So I'm just putting the layers of the fabric inside the binding and stitching on top. I did the same thing for both of the pieces. Then I now started to join the top part and the bottom part of the morning slipper, and that is just how I joined them, and I used many pins. So the more you join them, the more it starts to take shape. So at that point I had just put pins on all of them, and now I had to go and do a tacking stitch right round. So there I finished doing my tacking stitch. That is the bottom, that is the top. Then I now took my binding again, and what I would do is I would just lay it on top like that, and then I would just start stitching. And I'm using the tacking stitch to guide me. And I sewed the binding strip all over, all right round the morning slipper. So at that point I was done stitching the binding, and what I will now do is to just take that binding and then just flip it over, fold it, and then start hemming it down. I did this by hand. If you want to use the machine, you can still use it, but it just looked like so many layers of fabric to me, unless if you have an industrial or heavy duty machine. So at that point my slippers were basically done. I also made a bonnet and the eye mask, of course. So I actually made this for one of my best friends, and if you are interested to see, this is her reaction.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god! Thank you so much. And eye mask.
Now you can
this,
sleep.
this lady. How did you even think of all these things?
Because you wanted one. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next videos. And please don't forget to head over to Table's channel, and so that she can show you how to make that eye mask. Bye.